Hello, everyone.
Deepa, all good?
All good, sir. All good. So, what are the points that you have thought of so that I don't repeat them?
I have no idea. I'm just gonna speak impromptu way.
No, I was just thinking, I actually, while I was preparing it and reading about it, I thought that, okay, we are three speakers. We should have thought about it that one talks about the entire overview of it, one talks about the vices, and one talks about the virtues.
Yeah, but I think one speaker is basically coming from not India, so no idea. How do you actually connect with that person?
No,
One other,
absolutely fine. But but are we allowed to talk about the virtues of it, vices and virtues? I mean, like, it is the future, of course, but there are certain disadvantages of it also mentioned. Would you like to mention about them?
yeah, I don't think so. Since we are discussing, so obviously we can take into account okay, what can be the disadvantages. I think it's perfectly okay.
हाँ, तो आप disadvantages कर देना फिर
Okay,
थोड़े
but
से.
I don't. हाँ, but मुझे इतना कुछ खास disadvantages नहीं लगता. I am being an engineer and a management graduate. I have to always prefer a STEM education. The humanities guy who don't like this. But I think we'll go as a flow. Let's see how it works out.
Yeah, yeah. Hello, we have a sweet girl here by the name of account of Pramod Patel. What's your name, please?
What?
You with that bunny hairband. What's your name?
I'm Akashi.
Akashi. Okay. Hello, Akashi.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, good.
Nice. Oh, somebody.
Hello everyone, good evening. Yeah, very nice every one of you, and this particular brain drain session is connected with Facebook Live also, and the credit goes to Srinivas sir, who is doing a wonderful background work, because there are some people who work from behind. There are some people who come from the work from the front. So he is the man who work from behind. So he is with us also. Yeah, so he's giving all the technical support right now. Yes, everyone. So I think Alka ma'am is there, so I don't need to speak now if she is there.
Yes, I'm here, Ravi ji.
Yeah, I think ma'am has
Much
joined
here.
us from Brazil. Ma'am, I have to call her. Wait. Yeah, she is also there. I have to call her.
Perfect.
Yeah, she is not there now, Brazil ma'am.
We can start in 2-3 minutes if everyone is here. Ravi ji.
Yeah, already ma'am, it is live on Facebook. So yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it is live on Facebook.
Wonderful.
You have given, ma'am, you have given time allotment of 1 hour. In 1 hour, you can do all the things. Okay, ma'am? Hello,
Absolutely,
ma'am.
we'll wrap it up in 1 hour. I have already shared it with all our friends who are the speakers today, the eminent speakers. I have shared it with them that they'll get 10 to 8 minutes. It depends.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am is joining us from Brazil. I have called her just now. She told she's joining.
Yes.
Okay. Alka, ma'am, this is your stage now. You can take over.
All right, so here I
I
am.
don't have any tension. Yeah, please.
Good evening.
One second. 2-3 participant, your mic. Please mute yourself.
I think they need to
Sanjeev Kapoor,
mute
sir.
it.
And
They need to mute it.
09552998. Please mute yourself. Please keep muted yourself because the speaker will get disturbed. Yeah, and Srinivas sir, you can mute them if by mistake, if they are not able to, they might have forgot to off their mic, so you can mute them. Okay, yes, welcome ma'am, please. Good evening, namaste, and all the best.
All right, everyone. A big hello to everyone. Good evening, everyone. Konnichiwa, hola, and namaste. So, welcome to the second episode of Brain Drain, which has been organized by the Igniting Dreams of Young Mind Foundation, a foundation that was founded by Mr. Ravi Shankar Kumar, who is a very perseverant, a workaholic individual who works round the clock to ensure education for all, to ensure that education reaches every city of India. I think by mistake somebody is muting me. So that sort of broke the flow, my flow. So if that can be ensured, thank you so much, and I will continue. So I was talking about Mr. Ravi Shankar's dream, his mission. His mission is to ensure that education reaches every state of India. In fact, it reaches even at a global level, every child must, get the benefits of education. And he is one who is all for children, especially the underprivileged children, making satellites. And I think that is a huge mission, but he is so perseverant. He is so determined to see it through. I would just say on behalf of all of us, salute to all of you. And with that, I would like to welcome all of the distinguished guests today. And, today's topic of the day is brain drain. And it is a noun which means a term commonly used to describe the movement or the emigration of highly skilled individuals or professionals from one country to another country in search of better jobs, lucrative salaries, and higher standards of living. If you ask me, I would think that honestly, it's a time to really end the brain drain and move to brain gain. That is why we need more power, and we can have that if we ensure that there is no brain drain happening. So to add light and share perspectives, we have a highly erudite panel of speakers with us this evening, Dr. Beatrice, Mr. Manoj Sehgal, and Ms. Deepa Chaudhary. So I would like to welcome all of them to this second episode of Brain Drain today. It is lovely to see you here, and it is lovely to see smiling faces. But it would be wonderful if everybody can come on video mode so we can actually gauge the response of each and every individual who's present over here, for this lovely session today. So I think with Raviji's permission, I would like to open the forum now. Raviji, do I have your permission to do so? Raviji is okay. So I think I'll just take it myself. So I would like to, begin with our very first speaker for the day. Thank you so much, Raviji, for that signal. I'd like to begin with our first speaker, ladies and gentlemen, a very charming and friendly woman, a believer in collaborative activities, Professor Dr. Beatrice Lucia Salvador Bisotto, who is a postdoctoral student at the University of Aveiro, Portugal. She is a PhD in administration, also a master's in business administration, and she has a specialization in controllership from the University of Caxias do Sul, UCA. I hope I got it right. She is also having 3 research projects to her credit. Number 1, applied social sciences. Number 2, spirituality between Brazil, Pakistan, India. Number 3, governance and entrepreneurship. She is also a national and international journal reviewer and editor of Tropiro magazine. Also, she is a conference speaker and online conference organizer. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, she is the Presidente de Global Edu Leaders in Brazil and the International Coordinator and Director of IDYM. Also, the advisor of FAI, which is the Theatre Academy of India Executive Council. Such a distinguished personality and such a power woman of substance. Let's all welcome Dr. Beatrice Lucia Salvador Bisotto. Welcome, welcome. We are all eager to hear your thoughts. So where are you? Let me see you. Sometimes it's difficult to hunt on the stage. Oh, there you are. There you are. Hello there. Hi, you're looking lovely this evening. Will you please unmute yourself? Please unmute. We want to listen to your very, very nice and melodious voice. You need to unmute yourself. Yeah. Is there a problem?
I think, ma'am, Srinivas sir, please allow ma'am to speak because I think this is a host from most sides. He's not able to on. Please allow every participant to speak.
Okay, so you want? Oh,
Yeah, no, it's done.
Hello.
Now it's done. Now it's
Can
done.
you hear us,
Yeah.
doctor?
Yes,
Can you
no,
hear-
it's okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you hear what I said about you?
Yes, yes. I would like to thank you a lot for your kind words. And it's a pleasure for me to be here participating today. It's a big and a very important evening. So I would like to thank the IDYM Foundation for the invitation and for your beautiful words about me. I would like to say that you are an impressive woman too, okay?
Thank you.
You need to.
Can I share my presentation?
No, actually, no. Actually, her mic volume kept low. No. Actually,
She would like to share her presentation. Actually, share. She wants to share screen. Yeah.
It's still impossible.
Are you able to share it?
No, not yet. I need the host.
Okay. Please, may I request the host to allow her to share screen, please? To allow the doctor to share screen so that she can share her thoughts with us. Thank you.
Yes, now it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Perfect.
Is it visible, my presentation?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Can I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. As I said before, it's a pleasure to be here today speaking for this foundation that is so important and brings so much important topics for discussion every day. So today I was invited to talk here about a very relevant theme that is STEM, all right? So I'm gonna start speaking about it.
yes,
What is this team engagement?
she's a co-host now.
Can I
She
go
can
ahead?
share.
It's okay?
I see her screen now. What is STEM
All right.
engagement, and because of
Screen
it,
is absolutely
that is
visible.
the screen I see.
All right.
May I intervene, please? Ma'am's screen is absolutely clear. I can see it. It
All
says
right.
STEM engagement, so it's absolutely clear now. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna start, okay? What is a team engagement?
Yeah.
And because it lacks, it needs to encourage inequality. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Professor Beatriz Lúcia Salvador Brizotto from Brazil, University Unifacvest from Brazil. Let's talk about STEM. Let's understand better what is it. It's an acronym for the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. Discussion of STEAM-related programs has become a presidential priority because too few college students are pursuing degrees in these fields. So, what is a STEM engagement? There is a gender bias producing gender gaps in the STEM engagement. We explored whether the existence of gender bias causes gender gaps in the STEM engagement. We have some experiments and some articles about it, and US women projected less sense of belonging, positivity toward, and aspirations to participate in STEM that did men when exposed to this gender bias, all right? These gender differences disappeared when the participants were told that STEM exhibits gender equality, suggesting that this gender bias produces STEM, right? exploring whether results generalize to a specific STEM department and whether organizational efforts to mitigate this gender bias. Most scholars agree that there is a gender disparity across science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in the STEM fields in this case. For example, recent estimates indicate that women comprise only 28.4% of the science and engineer workforce in the United States. However, there is ongoing debate about the causal factors responsible for the STEM gender gap. Researchers have identified numerous contributing variables, including but not limited to differences in men's and women's lifestyle choices, whether free or constrained endorsement of communal goals, which are often viewed as incompatible with STEM work, access to appropriate role models and mentors, social identity threat, stereotypes casting STEM as a male gender type, and masculine cultures that undermine a woman's sense of belonging. However, the potential causal impact of gender bias itself on STEM gender disparity remains largely unexplored. Clarifying the role of gender bias is critical if gender bias has not impact on men's and women's STEM outcomes. Then current policies aimed at stamping out bias reflect wasted resources and missed opportunities. What? Let's talk about what? A huge shortage of young people going into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths careers. Here beside you can see a picture of a man snowed under in a lot of wires. We can compare this to a person trying to organize the thesis, her thesis or his thesis after the meeting with the orientator of the university. So it's a complicated situation, as you can see, right? The United Kingdom is suffering from a skills gap. A tech-savvy workforce is needed to cope with industrialization, and there is a huge shortage of young people going into STEM careers. When students are asked to make subject choices leading to their future careers, many are unclear as to what is involved and may also have picked up the message that STEM is boring, nerdy, or not for girls. To increase uptake, we need to excite kids about it before they pick up such messages. Why? You can see here these projects. If they are equipped to carry out a real tried and tested project, they can spend a day passing on their knowledge and enthusiasm to the students, while supporting their STEM education by relating the activity to the curriculum learning objectives. How? How can we stimulate that? Look at these beautiful pictures we have here with projects and children here. To appeal to both boys and girls and to provide a memorable experience with the students associated with the STEM, with the STEM in the future, it is important to start this process early, preferably at primary age, before the students begin to pick up negative messages about STEM, particularly the not for girls message, which many seem to acquire around the age of 11, Participate in science fairs, for example, technological fairs, solving problems together at the scientific and technological fair. You need to involve the family in challenges of building objects. And we need to teach children how to create the toys. What makes a STEAM activity? ISTM is science, technology, engineer, and math, as we said before. These are all areas of learning that our kids need to be comfortable with to excel in the future. STEM makes creators, thinkers, problem solvers, doers, innovators, and inventors. What is the STEM method of teaching? STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. It is a method of education where the subjects are taught in coherence instead of isolation. It emphasizes on bridging the learning gap by putting the children at the core of experience, making them active learners from passive listeners. Now let's talk about the top 10 benefits of STEM education. The aims of STEM education develop children 21st century skills. Nowadays, school curriculums don't include 21st century skills. Hence, many teachers think about integrating STEM in their lessons. But what are the benefits for kids? We talk about 10 advantages of STEM education in children's development. And we talk about 10 advantages of STEM education here. Let's go. The first one is improve creativity. It can be said that creativity is thinking out of the box. STEM students try to come up with unique ideas while solving complex problems with an interdisciplinary approach. They develop this skill with inspiration from the teammates. Thus, it encourages kids to explore new things, use their imagination, and build their invention. Now, the second one is increase the team collaboration. Collaboration skill is the ability to work together for common goals, right? It is one of the vital points of the STEM education, and the syllabus is prepared to encourage teamwork. In this way, kids can develop their communication and leadership skills. Now, the number 3, as you can see here, develop communication skills. Communication skills are perhaps the most important of all the life skills, in my opinion, because communication brings about listening, friendliness, open-mindedness, and more ability. They give and receive the feedback effectively if you have these communication skills. Number 4, empower critical thinking skills. Critical thinking leads to finding solutions to problems. Students learn how to break down a problem into smaller parts and solve it step by step. Besides, critical thinking is essential to improvement at workplaces. Now, number 5, boost curiosity. STEM students will be good at asking great questions. Curiosity students drive into innovations and discoveries that they research. Number 6, improve cognitive skills. Cognitive skills are the brain basic skills that enhance thinking, reading, and learning. STEM students can learn the basics of coding and engineering in primary schools. This approach helps kids' cognitive development. For instance, they can solve problems more quickly than their peers. Now, 7, explore STEM careers in early ages. STEM education nurtures students for the future to include the basis of innovation, science, and technology. So, students grow up appropriate with 21st century skills in early ages. Number 8, learn how to take the initiative. STEM contributes to the growth of individuals who are curious, confident, and get better at dealing with challenges. They can design their projects to solve the problems. Number 9, enhance the media literacy. Unlike curriculums, STEM students learn by research and inquiry. Inquiry requires students to engage in active learning by generating their driving questions and seeking out the answers. So they can apply what you have learned in daily life. And the last one, the number 10, boost social emotional learning, SEL. Social emotional abilities bring about happiness and success in life. STEM education encourages children to improve their SEL skills before becoming active members of society. Aside from personal development, including SEL strategies in teaching and empower students to learn more academically. We talk about 10 advantages of STEM education in children development. These effective aspects need to be understood and explicitly addressed as part of any successful strategy to improve engagement in STEM education and to address the significant gender equity issues associated with STEM. In the 21st century, scientific and technological innovations have become increasingly important as we face the benefits and challenges of both globalization and knowledge-based economy. To succeed in this new information-based and highly technology society, students need to develop their capabilities in STEM to levels much beyond what was considered acceptable in the past. Now I will let a last reflection here. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEM is very important. It's very important because it pervades every part of our lives. Science is everywhere in the world around us. Technology is continuously expanding into every aspect of our lives. Engineering is the basic designs of roads and bridges, but also tackles the challenges of changing the global weather and environmentally friendly changes to our home. Mathematics is in every occupation, every activity we do in our lives. By exposing students to STEM and giving them opportunities to explore STEM related concepts, they will develop a passion for it and hopefully pursue a job in a STEM field. A curriculum that is STEM based has real life situations to help the student to learn. Conclusion. STEM education in school is important to spark an interest in pursuing a STEM career. However, teachers do not carry the whole burden of STEM education. Parents also must encourage their children to pursue STEM activities and increase awareness and interest at home in extracurricular activities of the merits of STEM education. Thank you very much. And once again, it was a big pleasure to speak about this so relevant topic here, and for the kind words and the invitation you made me. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend and a good evening. Thank you very much.
Absolutely amazing. And all those points that you shared, I remember myself, I was so scared of mathematics and science, because perhaps I did not get the teachers or the professors who could actually ignite my, imagination, or actually arouse me to my creativity to actually understand the topics. But with all these techniques that you have mentioned, about collaboration, creativity, communication. Communication is something that I strongly believe in. If you need to make an impact in this world, you need to have the power of communication in order to, impress and mesmerize people both. Because you need to convince them of whatever you're saying. So I think all these things, and then the gender issue that you brought up, there has to be a moderation there. Activities have to be designed so that, boys as well as girls think that, it is equal for them, and there is no demarcation. Somewhere, down the line, there comes that kind of a demarcation that I, being a girl, cannot do this, or I, being a boy, cannot do certain things. But if we really, try to use all these techniques that you have mentioned, Dr. Beatrice, I'm sure that, the interest of the children can increase, and they'll definitely opt for careers, in STEM education. So that was wonderful. And maybe towards the end, after all the speakers have spoken, I would like to throw, leave it open to the audience to ask questions from all of you. So that we will leave towards the end. As of now, once again, it was fantastic, and a big, big thank you to you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving forward. So we have 3 people here, 2 lovely ladies.
Sorry, Miss Elka?
Yes?
Sorry, can I say something?
Of course, of course.
I would like to apologize, because I have another webinar right now. So maybe I will not be able to be in the end. So I would like to ask you so much sorry, and to thank you so much for the participation.
Thank you so much. You were wonderful. Thank you. Always,
thank you.
And stay safe. It's very necessary to stay safe also. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you.
See you. Right, so after this lovely lady spoke, I thought that let's have a gentleman, speaking next. So I am now going to invite an educational rock star, educational rock star. Yes, you heard me right. He, 25 years of teaching. He has trained more than 1 lakh students in various entrance exams of India and even abroad. Entrance exams abroad also, he's trained children, for example, the SCAT, the GRE, the GMAT, the SAT, the IITG, the CLAT, the Hotel Management, MBA, CET, MHT, Engineering, and BBA entrance for quants, logic, GK, group discussion, and personal interviews. He is the visiting faculty for mathematics and management at SP Jain School of Global Management, ISME, and also the visiting faculty for mathematics for Vidya Lankar classes for IITG and GATE, and also for IMFS for GRE, GMAT, and SAT. And ladies and gentlemen, the educational rock star that I'm talking about is none other than Mr. Manoj Sehgal. And it was lovely, you know, I had a little chat with him just yesterday evening, and we really, you know, there was a chemistry between us. I mean, he is such a wonderful conversationalist, and I'm sure all of you are going to enjoy listening to him. So, George, the virtual stage is yours. Come on, let's rock.
Thank you so much, Alkati. This is a real lovely way of introducing. I'm myself very surprised. Did I do actually all of them? So thank you
Yes,
so
you
much.
have. You
And
have.
I'm being sandwiched between the two ladies, so I don't know what I'm gonna speak now because
That's why I very nicely put you in between.
yeah, so I'm properly sandwiched. It happens in my family also, not male members and a lot of females in this. I have a daughter also and the wife, so I'm always sandwiched between them also. And as usual, no say in it. Matlab, whatever the decisions we've been taking. So
That's
I
me.
actually will disagree with the disparity. I think in spite of fact, STEM education does not have a lot of females. It's the female domination every time. So thank you so much once again, and good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you, IDYM. Thank you, Ravi Bhai, to invite me on this platform. It's always been a pleasure listening to you, hearing from you, and it's phenomenal the way you're doing it. I mean, frankly speaking, I don't know why I'm calling myself a rock star. You are the rock star. Actually, you deserve all the accolades. I do not know how you do it. I was reading a post where you were giving certificates at 3:38 a.m. Man, that's brilliant, man. I mean, phenomenal. I mean, hats off to you. It's a really great venture what you're doing it. Terrific team behind the scenes. There are a lot of people who are front force, but as you told as you told in the beginning, there's somebody behind who's making it sure that things goes very smooth. They do not get all the accolades, but fantastic guys. I've seen that part as scientific students. So thank you, sir, who is behind the scientific students. Would love to be on with you on the chat once. And fantastic, you know, having Deepa Chaudhary as the next speaker. She is terrific. I've heard her so many times, so it's lovely. And I remember the 5 pointers. I'm waiting for my feet to get over, and she'll come with the 5 pointers. One good part is Beatrice has covered entire thing, so I do not know what I'm gonna say. I was looking what I can say because she has covered a lot. But I believe in Elon Musk theory that I'm not into the formal presentation. I like more of presenting in terms of words and this. Yes, STEM is an acronym basically founded in US in 2001. So is as she has already spoken quite a bit times about the 4 parts. What they did is they united this instead of studying 4 different subjects. You have united a cohesion of all the 4 subjects put together. Uh, there are two disadvantages of the STEM education, and the biggest disadvantage is it does not challenges a humanity student. So there is a big problem in the language part. Yes, there is a good communication skills in terms of project work, but in terms of language, STEM program does not encourages that. That's the biggest disadvantage. And for some reasons, which starts from the lower school, middle school, by the time it reaches higher school or further studies, the number of females enrolling in STEM education is quite less. So there is a disparity in the female gender representations. So these are the two pitfalls of STEM education. But if I'm looking at our country, frankly speaking, I think that numbers are much higher in terms of education part, at least in STEM. I do not see a lot of females not doing it. I think a lot of females are there in STEM program. So in generally, at least in India, they are a bit. But yeah, there is an issue. I guess the best thing is the school teachers or the middle school teachers, when they're developing a scientific project or something, there has to be an encouragement. I mean, there has to be a study why, when you start with such a good education, and this is going to be the future, why is there so much a dropout? Good part about STEM education is not you do not require entire degree in terms of master's program. Even for 50% of the STEM education, your bachelor's degree is good enough for you to get jobs. That's a good part. But if you do a master's program, there is a very less number. And I'll give you some statistics which is like mind blowing from looking at the US perspective. So for if you're looking at US perspective, 75% of Indian students who goes to study for the master's programs in US will go for a STEM program. Even if he wants to do an MBA, he will go into the universities which will have a STEM program. The reason is post the program, once he completes the 2-year program, he gets a 29 months OPT where he can start working. So that virtually lands up into a 5 years stay in US, which makes it very easy for him to convert and stay there. Also, countries like Germany is easy to immigrate after you do a STEM program. So Germany encourages a lot of research. Australia encourages a lot of research. Even if you want to do an internship in say a neighboring country and somewhere in Asia, Taiwan is one of the ones which wants you from the STEM program. So does Singapore. So it's a reason why an Indian student will always prefer a STEM program into learning wise. I was looking at the statistics right now, and this is, I'm just talking of 2019. This is before the pandemic has hit us. So for a non-STEM program, for one job in US itself, there will be approximately 3.8 people applying. So there are virtually, you can say, 4 people applying for a job. However, for the STEM related jobs, there are more jobs than the students they have. They already having a shortage of around 2 lakh workforce. And this I'm just talking of United States. Germany is asking even more numbers. So there are more jobs in the STEM related field right now. Second, Indians normally do very well in this program. I mean, technically, we are very good into science and engineering. If you're looking, the world is built of, I mean, if you look at most of the American companies, even if you look at NASA for the matter, roughly 40% or even higher would be an Indians working there. So we do fantastic job in terms of this program. So it's not that we would have a issue with it. What my only concern is that somewhere if we can develop a humanity part where there will be some more interpersonal skills, as long as the communication skills is there is a communication skill, but there has to be more interpersonal skills, which is finding lacking. I think Alkaji, you are yourself into humanity, so you will agree that Indian students, especially people applying for the job, cannot write an email. And they are the best engineers we have on the card, but they cannot write an email. I mean, most of the emails which I find, and I'm also a part of a global management where we are recruiting students for international ones. I'm sure when a person in Amazon or AWS or any part look at the CV in terms of the written part, he would have put it on the paper straighter. So a youth talent goes wasted because they do not have a good communication skills in terms of writing. And looking at the biggest factor, if you look at jobs also, he also learned calligraphy, and that is what Apple made, or what is Apple right now. He converted the entire design in terms of calligraphy and everything. So the STEM program came also from that part. So I'm a firm believer STEM is the future. You're looking at all jobs. I mean, if you're looking 75% of jobs right now is in cloud computing. Second part, if you're looking at artificial intelligence, data science, this is what we'll be talking, and this is, I think that's the future jobs. I do not know what jobs we are having would be there for 5 or 10 years down the line, but these are jobs will be definitely surviving couple of years later. So thank you everyone for hearing me. I would love to come back to have any question and answer session, and the stage is all set for Deepa now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Manoj. As usual, I mean, I have talked to you twice, but I think you are always, were, are, and always be an educational rock star. And yes, you explained the entire process in a very wonderful, in a narrative, you know. So it was very for a literature person like me to easily grasp all of it. And yes, you are right that, you know, technically I feel that we in India are very strong when it comes to, you know, when it comes to mathematics and when it comes to sciences and engineering. We are very, very strong. But somewhere down the line, we still have to work out as to why our best brains actually leave the country. So this is something that we will talk about afterwards, and I will definitely want some answers from you on that. But now, moving on, I would like to introduce to all of you this beautiful woman with a lovely smile and her wits about her, our third speaker for the day, a corporate professional with over a decade of experience in the corporate world, overcoming all odds to build a multifaceted profile of developing and executing business operations, project execution to accomplish top and bottom line profitability. She has managed marketing, brand building, Markham, product and business development. Wow. And she has also worked in companies like MAHLE, Anand Filter Systems, Nokia, Oracle, KPMG, WNS, and EA Leader of the Year Award at 5th Executive Assistant Leadership Digital Masterclass and Awards 2021. And she was also, is the recipient of the Women Employee of the Year in Business Award at 2nd International Inspirational Women Awards 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking of this beautiful, gorgeous lady, Miss Deepa Chaudhary. So Deepa ji, konnichiwa and welcome. The virtual stage is yours now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alkaji, for a warm welcome. And I must say, you are hosting this session. You're rocking, and it's awesome. The positivity that you are radiating, it is amazing. It actually gives us also a lot of positivity and those vibes and bubbly nature. So I'm actually glad to be here. Thank you so much, Dr. Manoj, for the appreciations and your session, your inputs, your insights that you have shared have been really enlightening. And I wasn't aware of all the points that you have shared. And what to say, Dr. Lucia has already covered the topic in detail, in great detail. So, as being the last speaker, I'm not left with any, any outstanding or any views that are all covered, all of them. So, and as Dr. Alka started with the stop brain drain and focus on brain gain. Yes. And Dr. Lucia said important to spark an interest in pursuing a STEM career in students. So let me get back to those earlier visionaries that we had, like Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, who were perseverant problem solvers. Okay, to tell you a story about it, now I'm left with that story only. So, so to tell you a story about it, it so happened that after Edison invented the electric bulb and celebrations were ongoing, and someone asked, so Mr. Edison, how did you keep yourself motivated after you have failed 1,000 times? So Edison said, I didn't fail 1,000 times. It's that I learned 1,000 ways that didn't work. So Edison believed that genius is 1% inspiration or the talent and 99% perspiration, or that is our hard work. Okay, so now imagine now this our Thomas Edison as a kid. Tommy goes to school and submits his homework. So what do you think in the eyes of the teacher he should be getting? Should he be getting an F for the late submission, or should he be getting an A for such an invention? So it is all about what we value. It is all about, is it the process or is it the product? So, and as Albert Einstein said, it's not that I'm smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer. So coming to our current school curriculum and parenting mindset, what is it that we value? What is it that we value? Are we letting our kids or our students stay longer with those problems and let them find out those solutions on their own? You never know, while finding those traditional solutions, or you say those expected answers, they might come up with something different, like Edison. They might come up with something different. Now coming to STEM. So STEM, according to me, 4 points that I really make sense to me are STEM focus on integration. So the concepts that are disjointed, it brings them together and establishes a relevance. So real world problem, current event, and global issue. So they establish a relevance to all of it. Emphasize 21st century skills like access to information and creative problem solvers and teamwork and collaborations. And it challenges the students. Not too difficult that the student give up, and not that easy that they find it boring. Okay, so it's a perfect mix of project-based learning plus problem solving. Now that makes it transdisciplinary learning. Okay, so interdisciplinary examples, probably think about what if a teacher says that she's talking about the concept of scale. A mathematics teacher is talking about the concept of scales and measurements, and there's a science teacher who is teaching them about planets. Okay, so the planets. Now, if we make it interdisciplinary and mix them both, then they should be, the kids would be taught like ratios and distance of planets. We are talked about planets, so we are talking about planets also, and we are talking about ratios and sizes of different planets. So can you see here, the maths and science are intertwined. So makes it interdisciplinary. We have multidisciplinary examples also, like what if we are told about the climate, or how to measure it meteorologically, about the weather changes. So how will the students mix it up? Now they will mix up this science, technology, and make it as a STEM format. So this is all about it, and that is all I have. I just thought of giving my views about it. Of course, it is very important, and indeed it is. It has a lot of future to it, and it is future based. However, I still believe that the traditional, there's a slight, of course, there's a 1%, as Dr. Manoj has also mentioned, the reading skills. The reading skills, of course, is lacking behind, and they will always lag behind, because we are telling them to learn about AI and machines and problems and project-based learning. So where does that handwriting and calligraphy and reading skills and those writing skills go back? I've been a literature student. I love my books. I love my poetry and those writing skills. However, of course, that will definitely be taking a back seat. But of course, it is indeed very important. It has a future, and of course, it's a growing learning platform. The same is the future. That's it from my end. Thank you.
So that was amazing. I mean, you sort of wrapped it up all, from what Dr. Beatrice said, Dr. Manoj said. You gave a very nice, wrapping up to the entire thing by using the story of Albert Einstein. And that's a quote, which I also really believe in, the 99% and the genius one. I think it really works. And I think we somewhere need to keep it at the back of our mind. And yes, regarding interdisciplinary, I think schools, ever since NEP has come in, the new educational policy, the schools and educators are realizing the importance of projects and project-based learning, as well as interdisciplinary learning. So I think we are coming close to it, and I don't think it's very far. If we keep at it and if we're perseverant enough, I'm sure, we will definitely have more children opting for STEM education now. There are many people, many of us from the audience, who would also like to speak and share some thoughts. I just read in the chat box, Mr. I don't know your name, Scientific. Yes, please share your thoughts.
Srinivas SG, ma'am.
Love your name.
Srinivasan sir, Srinivasan sir.
Alkaji, it doesn't matter the way you pronounce, okay? Anyway, we are science people, okay?
No,
in just 1 minute, I just want...
Okay, but the name wasn't there, so now
Anyway, let me input.
Pronounce it perfectly well, believe me. I am a very, Mr. Srinivasan would like to share some of his thoughts.
Yeah.
Please ahead, Mr. Srinivasan.
Thank you for that time. Okay, just 2 minutes.
Yes.
Basically, I'm an electronics engineer, but however, right from my childhood, I'm more passionate towards my science and application of the science and all. So I used to have hundreds and thousands of such questions right from my childhood days, and those were not really answered by the textbooks and my teachers or whatnot. Okay, so I solved myself, as Deepa also said that about Albert Einstein. So I always take Albert Einstein on my most interesting quote, like that imagination is more important than the knowledge, because knowledge is limited to the book, whatever you study like. Anyway, I do a lot of take sessions at various schools, hundreds and hundreds of schools, and met not lakhs of students, and I'm a mentor of change at Niti Aayog at Government of India. So we do a lot of mentoring activity, and especially that particular Atal Tinkering Lab from that Atal Innovation Mission. That's a massive mission in India. Near about 10,000 labs were given by Government of India. That's all about STEM education. So I would like to update myself regularly so that the scientific students, all of you can see that, and especially that scientificstudent.com/ that circuit lab is one of the area where I'm developing that particular STEM-based education, because a lot of other countries have done good job, and where our Indian students also can be done in that big fashion. Okay, so all about science and technology, how they go together. That's where my work into that all the school children, one thing. And second thing is that I also develop, because energy is more important. We need to work with energy, and all the world has to work with energy. That's where not depending on the coal and all that, because they're all fossils. So what we have done is that we are working with renewable energy, and that's where if you go to my website scientificstudents.com/solarlab.html, last this 10 months corona time, I keep on developing it, and after a weekdays you will be having much more updated information in my circuit lab page as well as solar lab page. And now since last 1 month I'm keep thinking about coming out with another subdomain into the same main domain, all about STEM education. So since last 5-6 years I'm keep on attending a lot of conferences and all, and I'm updating myself with the mentoring network of the nation and other countries also. But the reason I took this couple of minutes to get connected to all the STEM community, and I wanted to open myself that anytime anyone from all across the globe, that they can always input that kind of subject from all about STEM. And I strongly believe STEM education is not only in one few countries, it has to be every school and all across the globe. STEM education only can solve the science and math together. So as my own personal quote, I always imputed to all the students of the globe, saying that science is a concept, but however, a concept with no calculation is a big zero. To avoid that big zero, it has to be the science and maths go together. That's where the science and the maths and the engineering, all these things like a STEM and STEAM, and we have to connect the children of the globe, and so that their critical and creative thinking goes up. That is only possible with STEM education. The basics must be well taught with STEM, and they can further apply, and our children of the entire universe can grow global, where like a Boston Robotics and all, the way they are doing the great developments. So all the students can be greatly powered up with the basic knowledge of the STEM right from the schools. Every school, I don't know how long it continues, the syllabus, these all have to be figured it out. Every school the syllabus has to be redefined from the STEM education. It is not a supplement, it must be a basic. I'm trying my level best to help my children, and I'm updating myself, and I wish all my supporters, you all can always share whatever comes in front of all about STEM education through my email or WhatsApp message and whatever. Okay, so this is what I'm really looking for. Thank you for the time.
Perfect. Whatever you said makes a lot of sense. At least so many things are very clear to me. And like you, I am also a learner for life. I also try to update my skills. And this is an area which really fascinates me. Perhaps if I had teachers like you, Mr. Srinivasan, I would have been with you doing a lot of science exploration webinars. But because I did not, perhaps, that is why I ended up doing my post-graduation in English literature. But yes, I'm very happy that I'm able to connect with people like you, and also from all over the globe who are talking about this. And it is the need of the hour. Definitely it is. And I think our country is doing a good job because we have a lot of good brains. And now the tagline that, catch the children young. Yes. So when you them young and you start making them inquisitive through projects and through all these kinds of activities where they're using their creative thinking, collaboration, critical thinking skills, I'm sure, you know, they can come up with a lot of new things that perhaps they can teach us. So I think that is where we are as educators. We are now becoming facilitators. So we are actually mentoring our children and ensuring that, you know, they get the best brains. But now we also have to focus on one thing, that our children who are the best doctors, the best engineers, why do they leave their own country and go somewhere else? That is something that we really need to figure out. So I would like the audience to share their views also, or if they would like to ask something from our eminent panel of speakers, they can do that too. So anybody willing to say a few words? Anyone? This is a forum where everyone can speak. Okay, only 1 minute left now. Anyone? Otherwise, we'll quickly have to wrap it up since we just have 1 minute. All right, I guess, well, that's it then, because I don't want
to
to
extend the time for this. I will talk to the Pruvi ma'am in Canada and I will ask her to join by 7:15. You give them 15 minutes more.
Okay.
Because they want to say something, we should not, stop them.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
We can stick around for 10-15 minutes more. We can stay for 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful.
Alkaji, let me input.
Very good.
Alkaji, let me input another one example. As our Deepa madam also, Deepa madam mentioned another my most inspiration. So my most inspiration, Little Al. I used to be call him Little Al while I'm there in USA for some time. So in my 6th grade, when my science madam told me that Thomas Alva Edison invented the bulb, then the next question to my science madam saying that, madam, how he invented? Then she said, you go and ask him. So I wrote that same thing in my notebook, and that day is not really very far, that went to that place where the first bulb invention took place. So I saw literally with all my, and then I figured it out. Is it stop? Is it happening? Is it coming? Can anyone feel like Alkaji's screen squeezed now? Is it coming? So Dr. Manoj, are you able to hear me? No? Is it stopped from my side? Hello? Is it stopped?